Thank you for joining us. I guess it's time to start. We gave 3 minutes to people. It's nice to see you all. I'm Tomasz Pindel. I'm CEO and co-founder of Vultureify, and today I will have a pleasure to conduct this webinar for you. Thank you again for joining us. And also I wanted to welcome our special guest, Kelly Goetsch. Kelly is a Chief Strategy Officer at Commerce Tools. It's a very special person for Vultureify because we learned a lot from Commerce Tools. This year we started a partnership with Commerce Tools, and after the first weeks of collaboration, we see that probably it's going to be very beneficial partnership. So again, welcome, Kelly.
Thanks for having me. Great to be here.
Thank you. Let me start our topic for today. So together with Kelly, we will try to tackle the topic on how to build powerful promotions with MACH tools. First of all, in few slides, I will try to show you a few thoughts about the digital promotions in 2022. I will also try to explain you how Vultureify works and basically how it's aligned with MACH rules. And then finally, after those few slides, after maybe showing you a few pieces of software, we will move to questions and answers to our discussion with Kelly, where we will try to do a deep dive into the promotions in MACH ecosystem. So that's our plan for today. In case you have questions, definitely we are going to answer them at the end. So post them in the chat, and definitely at the end of this webinar, we are going to pick up them. Before this webinar, I took a few numbers from some researchers. We see that nowadays only something around 20% of members are feeling well, feeling valued with the basically loyalty programs which are being launched by businesses. And that's actually a bad figure because we already know that there is much more success rate from actually customer who is getting back to your store, returning customer, than from new customers, right? So it's easier to sell to loyal customers. Seeing those numbers, definitely we should focus more on building scalable and robust loyalty programs, because at the end of the day, it can give you a great benefit. Additionally, I believe that you all know that currently it's no more time for paper coupons or loyalty punch cards. It's pretty much gone, and now we are moving more toward digital approach in which promotions, loyalty programs, they are personalized, they are targeting groups. There are loyalty programs which must be very carefully managed, and there must be a proper budget control under those loyalty programs and promotions. This is why today, together with Kelly, we will try to discover a bit more the capabilities of MACH ecosystem for handling those promotions and loyalties. And we are going to discover today 3 roads. Probably we will tackle the first one, which is build promotion software, which means, spending hours, months, years of developing a custom solution, which then later on you have to document, maintain. This is the first possible road which you can take with your promotion approach, basically build software. Another possible route is to extend the existing e-commerce solution and basically build something upon it. That could be something reasonable, but on the other hand, from my experience, it might be tricky. Obviously, those platforms who are offering off-the-shelf solutions, sometimes they have an API, they have a webhooks, but actually at the end of the day, it's very hard to build something reasonable and connect dots and connect this REST API and build proper handlers for webhooks to build a proper approach for specifically extending a checkout form, right? Checkout form is related to credit payment cards and basically is related to the most important process in your e-commerce. So it's very hard to actually expand these in case you are taking like off-the-shelf, non-expandable solution for e-commerce. So this second route actually can be also very hard. The final route which we are going to discover today is basically purchasing a specialized vendor in promotions and connecting it with a base, which will be, in our case, Commerce Tools, best of breed solution for maintaining e-commerce, solution built in a headless way with API first approach, which is different to what I've described in the previous step. So all those off-the-shelf commerce solutions which are very closed, which are not expandable. Commerce Tools is different in a way that it's really easy to expand. It offers you functionalities like, for instance, extension API, which can be easily used to build whatever behavior you want to build upon standard e-commerce backend. Today, we will probably tackle and we will discuss all these three paths, but especially we will focus on the last one. And everything what we are going to discover today will be basically driven by MACH Alliance rules. So MACH, it's basically an alliance of best of breed solutions and companies who are advocates for open technology ecosystem for basically building composable and building scalable approach for business software. Those solutions and approach is typically microservice based, is API first, is cloud native, is headless. And now let me explain you shortly what is Vultureify. At company, we started firstly as a software house 2 years ago. Actually more than 2 years ago, 8 years ago. We started working for many e-commerce and marketplace companies. And on daily basis, we saw many problems with launching outbound promotion. Working for e-commerce businesses at the end of the day was related to building many different promotions related to coupon codes, gift cards, loyalty, referral programs. And all those guys, they had a similar problem, right? Today, they wanted to launch personalized coupon codes. However, first of all, they didn't know how to do it. They didn't have software to properly handle it. So we had to struggle with many, custom procedures, changes directly in database to make a modification in the coupon code to just apply different discount rule or a different discount effect. And it was very problematic and very hard to maintain. Seeing all those problems after 2 years of running our software house, we decided to start Vultureify in 2016. And now we have a solution. We have a software as a service which basically offers you in one place functionalities for handling many different types of outbound promotional scenarios. Which kind of problems we solve with Vultureify? Just to give you a better understanding where we stayed as a solution for solving problems. As I mentioned in my previous example, first of all, data management. So when you are building a personalized promotion, typically you can imagine that, you need information about customer segmentation from displays, from CRM, let's say. You need information about orders history from another service. And in the past, we saw in many cases that actually businesses, what they did, they were just trying to combine this information using spreadsheets, Google spreadsheets, do some VLOOKUP thingy to just connect dots and build some sort of list of customers to whom we are going to target promotions and coupons and discounts. And obviously, it was very hard to maintain. So, that was a mess. That was a work with thousands of records in spreadsheets, and it was very hard to maintain. Another thing, communication between teams. As I said, on one hand, you have a marketing team who wants to launch this rule and that rule and wants to get coupon code today. But this marketing team is highly related to what is development team building and delivering. Any change in the configuration of the coupon code in typical scenario, it required a modification directly on the database. On the other hand, each development of the promotion type was related to additional cost because obviously we had to spend time, money on adding new functionalities, on adding new promotion rules to cover expectations of the marketing team. And then finally, we didn't have flexibility and speed, and our time to market was really high because obviously any change, any modification was related to long software development cycle. In cases where you were in very agile, lean environment and maybe you could deliver and deploy something within 1 day, on the other hand, we saw many organizations where releasing version took typically weeks instead of hours or days. Those were key problems where we found Vultureify very, very useful. And now let me show you just on in one simple example how Vultureify can work with your e-commerce. And now on your screens, you can see a sample Sunrise store, which is hosted upon Commerce Tools API and Commerce Tools building blocks. And in this sample store, what I'm showing to you basically on the right-hand side, some card level discounts, automatic discounts, which were highlighted by store. So you see that I've added to my basket those sneakers. So store e-commerce saying me automatically, okay, you can get 45% discount on the entire order because you have a product qualified to get a discount. Additionally, you see that I've built this experience in which I have another rule which says me that if you spend more than €200, but less than 300, you can get additional 30% on the entire order. That's first functionality which you can get together with combining Vultureify functionalities with what is given by commerce tools by default. So you can get these automatic card level discounts. Next to it, you have this input field for coupon codes. So for instance, let's imagine now, let me go to the Vultureify dashboard. You see I have here my sample customer. And I have a preview of his wallet. So what I see here, that yes, he has loyalty cards, for instance, and he earned some points on those loyalty cards. So what I can do next, I can also, as a customer, if I know the loyalty card ID, I can get that loyalty card, apply this card, and pay with this card. So pay with points, because I have a proper rule which says that this card can work as a payment mean. So actually I can use points for paying for my orders. And this all together can be obviously stacked. So if you want to get a combination of discounts and you want to apply many discounts at once, it's also doable with Vultureify API. So this is a sample experience which you can build together with Vultureify functionalities, and how you can achieve this specific environment in which you can develop basically your promotions. You can get these thanks to few key rules which were very important for Vultureify at the beginning, and they are very aligned with what MACH is saying. First of all, we were oriented on building API-first platform. So API was very important for us, and our most important goal was to build API which is developer friendly. What it means that it gives, first of all, a freedom to developers to build what they actually want and to design related touching points and front ends how they want, instead of, placing one big rule and one fixed process which should be implemented by the given methods. Additionally, obviously, we give an option to customize what is given in the standard data model by Vultureify. So you are not limited just to build in properties and just to build in data model, but you can customize that. You can send and define your custom metadata attributes, which will be modeling your own business cases, right? So what it means that maybe you are from subscription model and you have subscription-based business. You don't have to worry that promotions which I shown you are typical for e-commerce, because basically that data model is easily expandable by some additional attributes, and you can easily adopt these to subscription-based model or booking-based model. If you have a platform for booking mobility devices or booking hospitality facilities, you can easily achieve that with expanding the standard data model. Additionally, very important things which we had in mind building Vultureify. First of all, it was affordability. So we wanted to reduce cost, and we wanted to basically give an option to our customers to pay for what they actually are using, right? So the whole pricing is usage driven, and actually you pay as you go. So depending on your utilization, depending on your scale, pricing will be adapted to your current situation. And the same, what is very important, performance. So basically you don't have to worry about scalability, about performance, because obviously we do our best 24 hours, 7 days per week to basically make sure that API is available. And thanks to this MACH approach, in which we are cloud native, microservice based, this is actually very easy to achieve. And additionally, it gives you one more thing, composability. If today you want to use just one piece of the software, you want to connect with just one element, obviously you can do it. You are not bounded to the requirement in which you have to get everything onboarded, everything connected. You can basically select functionalities which are important for you, and you can adapt to them your front store, right? So you are not having the predefined one design for handling promotions and promotion rules. You can design your own user interface and build it as it is required by your business and stakeholders. Thanks to this, you are getting, I would say, pretty powerful approach for designing and building promotions. And yes, now I would love to ask Kelly how it looked like before these kind of business case specific tools appeared on the market. I'm really wondering how commerce tools was tackling different requirements from customers before age of promotion engines.
Yeah, so that was a great webinar there. Glad to be doing the Q&A. So Commerce Tools, it goes back to the name of the company. We are Commerce Tools. And I think we like to differentiate ourselves, obviously, with our products. But in some cases, we don't necessarily have the best tool for a given customer. We're not a legacy style platform where we pretend that we do the best of everything. We have a well-defined surface area. And in some cases, we have customers buy MACH-based solutions that better meet their needs. And two of those examples are search and promotions. So before we had third-party promotion engines on the market, our customers largely had to build their own or very heavily customize and extend commerce tools. And neither of those are very good options. I mean, you can certainly make our promotion engine work. It will function to handle some of the really extreme use cases. But I think the whole ethos of MACH, which we invented at Commerce Tools, is pick the best tool for the job. And if you're buying all of the tools in our toolbox and maybe promotions isn't necessarily meeting your needs, we're always big fans of going third party on things. That's fine.
Thank you for explaining that. And when it comes to typical requirements which you are seeing when your customers are approaching you, typical requirements for loyalty and promotions, what those are? Can you give some examples of of the most simple one, going up to the most advanced examples of the rules which you saw with the customers?
I mean, some basic ones are buy one, get one free, for example, 50% off this category. Those are pretty straightforward. Where things get a little bit more complicated is we have customers who will say, today in this physical store, everything that is the color red is now 20% off. That's hard. Those types of things are hard. Or, generate 10 million unique discount codes according to these rules, right? They have to be 9 digits and they have to be this, right? Like that all becomes very, very challenging to do. And those are areas where, for the majority of our customers, what we offer is fine. It works really well. But there are some of our customers that are very, very promotional. They want to mix and match. They want extreme control over which rules take precedence when. And, if you start stacking a bunch of these very complex rules together, you run into issues. So, and, speaking of those issues, what are the most time-consuming parts of building your own promotion engine? I mean, you've done this yourself. What are some of the common challenges there technically?
Yeah, very good question. Yeah, and actually, I would start from the question which I asked you before, right? So customers, they arrive to us with many different use cases and different scenarios. Probably 80% of them, they are easy and can be implemented, fairly speaking, soon, right, and fast. But rest of them, those are really advanced use cases with many different combinations, with many different assumptions and constraints. One of the key challenges which I see with developing an in-house custom system for handling promotions and loyalty is basically mapping those requirements into the real specification, right? So when it comes to sources of those requirements and stakeholders, there is many people who will be involved in the project, right? And today you will get this simple requirement from person A, but then you are moving to another department. Another department has definitely different requirements when it comes to promotions and loyalty, even more specifically. And then you have a problem of maintaining the whole list of all those use cases and requirements. So actually, even though at the beginning you think this is a simple 1 day, 1 month project, at the end of the day, at the end of the year, it happens that you will have to spend months of developing that because everyone wants to control something in a different way, having a different level of customization, different level of flexibility. And it's actually very hard to maintain those requirements and then map them into the real software pieces. That's one thing. Additionally, later on, testing and maintaining. So I can tell you that rules engine can be very complex piece of the software, right? All these connections and ORs, logical junctions, and operands, operates. So it's very complicated. I believe also maintaining a list of tests, in our case, automated tests, might be very hard. And even more, if you will not decide to go with the automated tests approach, then the whole story can be even harder, right? Because then doing the whole manual testing around your engine, it will take ages, right? And your software development lifecycle will not be limited to, let's say, 1 day or 2 days, but it's going to take like weeks. I would say those are key elements. And then finally, one more thing, connection to the third-party systems. So at the end of the day, when you are building promotion engine, you need, for instance, CRM data, right? You need to connect with your marketing automation tool, let's say Braze, because you want to send these notifications and messages to your customers when they are qualified to promotions. You need a connection to downstream systems like BI, for instance. With a third-party vendor for promotions, it can be easily actually to get these connections and functionalities, because we also offer extensions and connections to other third-party tools. So when you are building that in-house, you will have to implement all those connections. With a solution like Vultureify, you can take the software and basically also leverage the list of connected technological partners who are here to expand our capabilities. The same like with Commerce Tools. You have in Commerce Tools Vultureify to expand the promotion capabilities. We have the same kind of with Braze, but maybe other way around, because obviously Braze or other marketing automation tool will be master of data. In that case, we will just have to utilize a part of this information to run a proper promotion.
Yeah, makes sense.
I have another question, Kelly. We know that Commerce Tools has a pretty solid piece of software for handling promotions, and probably some part of use cases can be handled by that module. But let's imagine how it worked before the tools like Vultureify were on the market. So let's imagine in case you had at Commerce Tools a customer who wanted to run some advanced promotions and loyalty schemas which weren't doable with your built-in functionalities. What your customers typically they did for handling those use cases?
They would not do the promotion, which obviously harmed their business, or they would build something from scratch, which never ended well. Or they would try to customize and extend and make our system work, and that didn't always work either. So it was a combination, lots of different things. But yeah, it was always a challenge for us for the most advanced customers. And I think there's definitely room in our space. There just aren't that many folks out there offering a standalone promotion engine, and a lot of folks have challenges with that one thing. They want a business user dashboard where you can have 10 different rules defined for a single product and define the precedents and stacking rules and everything else. And that gets really, really hard to do at scale.
I understand. But yes, actually, I have to tell that from the very beginning, because this year, in the middle of this year, we started building our extension to Commerce Tools, because we offer an integration with Commerce Tools on 2 levels. So customers, they can just go and take our REST API and do exactly what you described. So build their custom middleware and connecting both systems somehow and get some sort of effect finally in the Commerce Tools by connecting to the rules engine from Vultureify directly through REST API. But we have this second way, so you can use our Commerce Tools extension. And I have to tell you that basically we find very useful and valuable the whole approach for building your API, how you are doing it, right? So all these features like API extension, it was very, very nice to use, and it simplified like the whole our journey of building that extension, right? I have to say that it is a great piece of software, and it was very easy actually to use it for expanding the standard functionality of Commerce Tools.
Yeah, we like that functionality as well. So much so that we even got a patent on that functionality. And now we support conditional API extensions, so even better. So you mentioned the integration. Maybe you could talk about the work we've done together at Breville. A quick
Yeah.
overview of that implementation and why they chose Vultureify.
Yeah, sure. So Breville is a Australian-based company who is manufacturing and retailing, selling home devices. This year, they had this project of moving from Elastic Path to Commerce Tools. So they started this digital transformation from Elastic Path to Commerce Tools. They figured out that actually the capabilities of Commerce Tools for promotions, they are limited somehow, and they want to get even more functionalities around it. So they found us in the MACH Alliance basically listing, and they decided to pick up Vultureify for taking over that part related to promotions. So yes, that implementation was supported by MACH Alliance partner. So it went pretty smooth because those guys, they were skilled and they were very experienced with all this approach for building, composable commerce with different third-party tools connected to commerce tools. So yes, it was very nice journey, and the use cases which they covered with Vultureify. So they have campaigns which were specific for target groups of customers. They have rules which are saying that discount is for given products, and also they have a subscription model for I guess coffee, as far as I remember. So you can purchase coffee and you can have a subscription for coffee supplies. So yes, they built also a connection to Vultureify in which the discount was for free subscriptions, for instance, in a row for free next months, with some given discount value. So it was pretty nice integration. And yes, they started at the beginning with this approach, and they were building custom middleware for connecting commerce tools and Vultureify. So at the beginning, when they started, they didn't use our extension because, frankly speaking, that extension didn't exist then. But now we are in the discussion where probably they are going to move to our extension because it's more flexible and it gives you probably even more expanded capabilities. So as I were showing you with my sample in this sunrise, we already implemented in this extension like many different functions. So it's working with loyalty campaigns, it's working with automatic card level discounts. You can apply coupon codes, gift cards with this extension. So actually it covers the full set of functions, and additionally it's using our new stackable APIs. It means that you can stack together many different promotion types. You can combine loyalty cards together with card level discount, and also, let's say, pay the rest with the gift card. And definitely this is giving them more capabilities, and probably we are after the first conversations, so probably they are going to switch to this extension.
Yeah, and that's what I love about this MACH ecosystem is you as a vendor, as a company, are able to go very, very, very deep and do one thing exceptionally well. And it's funny, we at Commerce Tools do commerce really well, but obviously within commerce, there are a lot of different components to that. There's product catalog, there's search, there's promotions, there's inventory, there's pricing, there's shopping cart. So, I mean, we're kind of a portfolio of APIs, but in any one of those areas, there's always an opportunity for one vendor to go really deep and offer the best promotions or the best inventory or the best pricing or whatever that happens to be. So we have a pretty big tent at Commerce Tools and are very supportive of vendors out there who are innovating in their very specific vertical niche.
Yeah, and when you look at this landscape and when you look at this list of MACH partners, what do you think? Which software is still missing there? So which kind of service you would see there as a next one to fulfill the list of all capabilities which are required for modern commerce?
I would say price optimization in real time, I think, is missing. Mm-hmm. There are some that do it asynchronously and they'll decide the price offline, but I think real-time personalized pricing would be interesting. I'd like to see more around PIM, and there are a couple great MACH Alliance members that are innovating in this space, but I think they still need to be rolled out to more of a mass market. There's some great innovation happening around checkout. So Fast was a member of the Alliance before they unfortunately went out of business, but Bolt is another one that's in this space. There are some other vendors innovating there around single-click checkout and reducing some friction there. I think there are a lot of different opportunities, but what matters is that you're the products on the market with the best offering, because in our space, the barrier to entry, the barrier to anyone starting one of these vendors is, relatively speaking, pretty low. And it behooves organizations to buy the absolute best product in the market. And that's really, really hard to do. And in some cases, there isn't a clear best in the market. It just depends on what your business needs are and which vendor better aligns with those business needs. Mm-hmm. So it's complicated, but I think there's a big, broad market out there. And I think folks are definitively switching away from those legacy style suites that we've all grown up with, which is good.
True. Yeah, I'm asking because we are also having some plans to expanding our functionality actually in Vultureify. And for instance, one of our key milestones for probably the next year would be, and it will be related to this price optimization probably somehow, because we are going to build some sort of recommendation engine for discounts and promotions. So what I mean, let's imagine, you have this promotion which says, buy one, get 3 extra products from the bundle, right? And okay, you can get this synchronous communication with the API to achieve this effect and know when discount is applicable. But it would be very interesting from our perspective and from perspective of our customers to actually also get recommendations around this. So we already know that you have one product like that in the basket, but if you do this and that, and for instance, maybe you will earn 2 additional points in loyalty program, then you can maybe get this product even cheaper because there is another promotion which could be connected and stacked together with this one, which is already applicable. And this kind of recommendations engine where we are promoting the customer behavior to save more money by giving more and adding more to the basket and doing something more around programs and schemas to which the customer joined as a, let's say, loyal customer. So this is something which probably we will be developing next year.
Okay, that sounds great. I don't know if anybody's ever done that before, so I think that would be a great example of innovation, and that's the only type of thing that you can do if you go really deep down on that specific piece of functionality, which you uniquely are able to do.
Exactly. Okay, Kelly, thank you very much. Please tell me, do you have some other questions to me, or shall we move to questions which are asked by audience? I'm not really sure if you have any questions there. I have to check.
Why don't we move it to Q&A, open questions from the audience?
So moving to the questions. Okay, what new features are planned for the plugins? So maybe I will answer this. So we already have the coupons functionality. We have gift cards. We have connection to the loyalty card, so we can pay with points, and also you can collect points based on placed orders. So this is something which is integrated, and similarly with referral programs. So you can use coupon codes as a referral codes, and whenever someone is buying from the referral code can be counted as a referred customers, and basically the whole referral schema can work. Additionally, now we are building a possibility to expand custom data model. So whatever you have in the commerce tools in your customer entity or order entity, like custom properties there, it will be possible, and already is partially possible, but we are going to expand this by also adding the built-in properties like shipping address, birth date, and we want to map these properties into the Vultureify engine. So this information is synchronized through the plugin, and also this information later on can be used for building future promotions. So for instance, birthday campaigns. So you want to, let's say, reward this month only customers who have a birthday in July. You can build promotion like that. So this is something which we are developing now. And then probably the next big thing for this plugin will be more advanced stacking. So what I mean here, combination of many discounts which can be applied together, like in predefined schedule. So that you say that promotion A, B, C works together, and you can apply them only together. Or if you are applying promotion A, and this is a promotion from category VIP, then it's not connectable with promotions from lower categories, right? So you can just get one one individually. So these kind of global rules for applying stacked discounts. This is the next thing which we are planning to release there. And hopefully the release will be before the end of Q1 2023. Okay, and then I see another question: how is data synced between commerce tools and Vultureify in the plugin? So yes, we are basically using webhooks and extension API for that. So we are listening to the changes in the entities, in the objects, and then those changes, they are automatically synced into the Vultureify. That's first thing. Secondly, we have some scripts and jobs for initial upload. So if you have your product catalog, which is a long list of entities, records, you can use this script, which is delivered in our open source library. You can use that script to upload, to do an initial upload of the products. So this is how it works at the moment. But yes, the general rule is that we are listening to the events around changes in the objects, and then we are syncing them into the Vultureify. Objects like products, customers, orders. Okay, so I don't see any other open question. I guess we are on time, so that sounds perfect, I guess. So if we don't have any other question, I believe we can finalize and basically close this session. What do you think, Kelly?
Yeah, I think this was a great discussion. So thanks for having me, and great webinar here.
Yeah, thank you very much, Kelly, for accepting our invite. It was a great pleasure to actually host you here, and hope we will have a chance to speak again soon.
Sounds good. Thank you much. Take care, everyone.
Thank you very much. Bye. Take care.